Hey, lovely people. So, my name's Jen Wilson, also lovingly known as Jen for those of you who don't know me. My life might look like it's amazing and full of all good things, really happy, and I'm doing all the things I love. I'm singing, I'm sound healing, I'm out in the world. But actually, behind the scenes, there was a lot of grief and a lot of trauma and a lot of work that went on in my life that I had to get through and resolve before I came to this place in myself where I now feel at peace with myself and able to be out in the world. I spent a long time crying behind closed doors. I spent a long time in grief. I spent 15 years in depression after my partner was assaulted. And when he died 9 years later as an indirect result of the assault, it was the most cathartic time of my life, and I became very insular. I shut the world out. I didn't want to see anybody. I didn't really feel like I had anything to say to anybody. I didn't feel like anybody could understand where I was at. And so I didn't see anyone, and I didn't speak to anybody, and I didn't go out. I had been an addict for many years before Mark was assaulted, for a good 15 years. I was addicted to one thing and another of hard drugs. And healing my addiction was part of the healing process for me, because with the grief on top of the addiction, it was like I'd just been running from my life, and eventually there was just nowhere to run. I was so embroiled in this grief within me that there was just no other way out but through it. And so gradually, in this isolation and this insular place I found myself in, it was just the most cathartic time of my life, where I just found myself shedding layer after layer after layer, and the addiction fell away as I got deeper and deeper into my grief. Anybody who's lost anybody they love will know how hard it is to deal with the real world when we are in utter grief and despair. And so I just kept sitting with myself and sitting with it. I thought the tears were just going to go on forever and ever. And after Mark died, it was like the start of a succession of people dying that I loved, from friends and family members and young people that I had worked with. My friends lost children, and it was just the most awful time of my life, and it was very difficult to deal with. So I was just paddling, really, like the duck, where they look like they're just gliding along in life, but actually they're just paddling like fury underneath. And I really was just trying my very best to stay on top. And the more I cried, the more I found that this grief was a state of disempowerment. And one of the reasons I had been so disempowered was I had lost my voice as a child. I didn't have the power to speak when I was a child. I don't know what happened. I think I probably came in with it. My upbringing didn't really help. I wasn't encouraged to shine and be my full glory. And after the addiction, I became more disempowered, and then I fell in love with a man who completely disempowered me even more. When he died, the story began to unravel. I started seeing this pattern of giving my power away. I was really blessed in that I met my spiritual teacher, Chung Fu, who's an ascended master, 3 years before Mark died. Over the course of 10 years, he was with me and helping me through my grief, through Mark's passing, and in the years that followed. I honestly don't think I could have done it without his guidance and his support and his love and just his awareness of where I was at on a soul level, because he showed me who I am. He showed me that I am this beautiful divine being, and that actually what had happened to me was that I had given my power away. I was sobbing for all these parts of me that I'd lost along the way. But when I saw who I truly was, this beautiful aspect of me, beautiful divine being, there wanting to come in and be a part of my life, And Chung Fu brought this to me and gave me this vision and consistently reiterated to me that this was who I was. And so through my grief of losing Mark and my friends that had gone after him, but particularly Mark because he'd been the love of my life, I realised how much power I had given away to him in my love for him. And so little by little through the tears, I began reclaiming my own power. And this was a life changer for me because it gave me back my power. And although I still can grieve for Mark, I am now empowered in my own life, just seeing that beautiful divine being who I truly am, in my own right, in my own power, and calling that back to me has given me my life back. The processes that I went through using sound, using my voice, calling on my divine self, having this vision of who I truly am and what I'm capable of and what I came here to bring, really gave my life so much meaning and purpose. This vision of who I am helped me to realign with my true purpose and bring my power back into my life and into my body. And because of these experiences, because I went through so much trauma and so much grief, because I went so deep, I'm now able to bring the gifts that I learnt, and the methods, the ways that I learnt, to completely transform your life. Whatever it is you're going through, whether it's addiction, whether it's grief, bereavement, whether it's depression, relationship problems, whatever it is, there's always a way through if you maintain the higher perspective and find and reclaim the part of you that has been lost. I want to help you do this, and I want to bring that for you because I want to make your life better. If you are struggling, I would love to help you because I know how much my life has changed from learning what I learnt and from turning it around, becoming empowered with my own voice, my own power and my own divine self. Blessings and peace.